A confident goodnight message doesn't ask for validation or immediate replies. It simply expresses warmth and then lets go. That release is powerful. It gives space for his mind to move toward you naturally. And when someone chooses to think about you on their own, that connection is far stronger than anything demanded or chased. When you understand this, you stop trying to impress and start creating impact. You stop forcing connection and start allowing attraction to grow. The right message sent with the right emotional energy doesn't keep him awake because of obligation. It keeps him awake because of feeling. And feelings, especially the ones experienced before sleep, have a way of staying long after the night is over. Connection before sleep is one of the most powerful emotional windows you will ever have. At night, the mind stops defending, stops analyzing, and starts feeling. This is why a good night message carries more weight than dozens of texts during the day. When someone reads your words right before closing their eyes, those words don't just stay on the screen, they move into the subconscious. That's where emotions are stored, where memories are formed, and where attachment quietly grows. The real power is not in saying too much, but in saying the right thing with intention. A goodnight text should never feel like pressure or obligation. It should feel like ease. When your message brings calm instead of expectation, you position yourself as emotional safety. Human beings are naturally drawn to what makes them feel relaxed and understood. If he associates the end of his day with peace that comes from you, his mind will begin to crave that feeling again and again. Another key element is emotional tone over perfect words. Many people overthink what to say, but attraction responds more to how something feels than how it sounds. Warmth, sincerity, and confidence matter far more than poetic lines. When your message carries genuine emotion, it signals authenticity. Authentic energy is rare, and rare energy is memorable. This is what keeps you in his thoughts long after the phone is put down. Subtle confidence is also a powerful goodnight message does not chase reassurance or demand attention. It reflects emotional independence. Confidence communicates value without saying it directly. When you show that you enjoy the connection but are not emotionally dependent on it, you create respect. Respect deepens attraction because it signals strength. Strength makes people. Curiosity keeps the mind active at night. Intention is the final piece that ties everything together. Words without intention are empty. But when your intention is to share warmth, appreciation, or positive emotion, it changes how the message is received. Intention shapes energy, and energy is always felt, even through a screen. When your intention is aligned, your message becomes more than text, it becomes an experience. The deeper lesson here is this: you don't make someone think about you by trying harder. You do it by becoming a positive emotional imprint in their life. When the last feeling he experiences before sleep is calm, appreciation, curiosity, confidence, or warmth connected to you, his mind naturally revisits that feeling. And people don't forget feelings that make them feel good. This is how attraction grows quietly. Not through force, not through over-communication, but through intentional emotional presence. When you understand this, every goodnight message becomes a gentle reminder of who you are and why you are impossible to forget. Words spoken before sleep have a unique power because the mind is no longer defending itself. At night, logic softens and emotion takes the lead. This is when messages slip past resistance and settle directly into the subconscious. A simple goodnight text sent with the right intention can become a quiet voice that stays with him as he drifts off. This is not about saying more, but about saying what matters at the moment his mind is most open. The emotional tone of a message always matters more than perfect wording. You don't need poetic lines or dramatic expressions. What truly lands is how the message feels.
Calm, warm, and sincerity travel further than clever phrases.
When the tone feels genuine, the brain relaxes and associates that emotional state with you. Over time, this creates a subtle emotional bond that feels natural, not forced. Goodnight texts are powerful because they can create a sense of safety, curiosity, and emotional connection all at once. Safety makes him feel understood. Curiosity keeps his mind engaged. Connection makes him feel seen. When these three are present, the message doesn't end when the phone is put down. It continues in his thoughts, his imagination, and his emotional memory as he lies in bed. Tonight, I want you to understand something powerful. Connection is not built by how much you say, but by how intentionally you say it. The moments before sleep are some of the most influential moments of the entire day. When the world goes quiet, when distractions fade, the mind becomes open. And whatever enters the mind at that time doesn't just pass through, it stays. The moments before sleep are when the mind becomes most receptive, and this is not poetry, it is psychology. As the day ends, the conscious mind slows down, defenses drop, and the subconscious takes the lead. This is why thoughts before sleep replay in dreams, why worries feel louder at night, and why comforting words feel deeper. When you send a goodnight message, you are not just sending text on a screen. You are entering that quiet mental space where meaning is amplified. The brain is no longer busy filtering, judging, or rushing. It absorbs. It associates. It remembers. This is why the emotional quality of a goodnight text matters far more than clever wording. At night, the mind doesn't respond to logic, it responds to feeling. A calm, warm message lowers emotional tension and signals safety. Safety creates attachment. When someone consistently feels emotionally settled after interacting with you, their mind links you with relief and comfort. Over time, this association becomes automatic. They don't have to try to think about you, their nervous system does it for them. There is also something powerful about timing. During the day, attention is scattered. Messages compete with work, noise, and responsibilities. At night, a single message can stand alone. It becomes the final emotional note of the day. And the final note is often the one that echoes the longest. This is why short, intentional messages work better than long explanations. Simplicity allows emotion to land without resistance. Another important layer is identity reinforcement. When your words make someone feel appreciated, calm, or understood at the end of the day, you subtly reinforce a positive self-image within them. People are drawn to those who make them feel like a better version of themselves. This is not about strategy. It is about emotional impact. The subconscious asks a simple question: how do I feel when I interact with this person? If the answer is consistently peaceful and positive, attachment grows naturally. Most people underestimate this power because it feels too subtle. But subtle is strong. Pressure pushes people away. Presence pulls them closer. A well-timed, emotionally grounded goodnight message doesn't chase attention. It leaves an imprint. It lingers in the quiet moments when the mind is most open. And that is why words sent before sleep don't just end the day, they shape the emotional memory of it. Words spoken before sleep sink deeper into the subconscious in ways most people underestimate. At night, the conscious mind relaxes, defenses lower, and the emotional brain takes control. This is when thoughts turn into feelings and feelings turn into memories. A good night message sent with intention doesn't just land on the screen, it settles into the subconscious. That's why timing matters as much as content. When you send a calm, thoughtful message before sleep, you're aligning yourself with rest, reflection, and emotional safety. Over time, the brain starts associating you with peace at the end of the day. And what the mind associates with peace, it naturally wants more of. This is not about saying something impressive or clever. It's about understanding human psychology. At night, people replay emotions, not conversations. If your words create warmth, reassurance, or quiet excitement, those emotions echo long after the message is read. This is how presence is built without effort, by meeting the mind at its most receptive moment. Emotional tone matters more than perfect wording because people don't remember exact sentences. They remember how you made them feel. You could send the simplest message, but if the tone carries calm confidence and genuine care, it becomes powerful. Emotional tone communicates safety, maturity, and self-awareness. When your message feels grounded rather than needy, it signals emotional strength. And emotional strength is attractive because it creates balance. A relaxed tone tells the other person, there is no pressure here, just connection. This allows attraction to grow naturally instead of being forced. Education teaches us that the nervous system responds first, words second. If the tone feels light, warm, and authentic, the nervous system relaxes. When it relaxes, trust forms. And trust opens the door to deeper emotional thinking. This is why you don't need long messages or dramatic expressions. A steady emotional tone does more work than 1,000 words. When your energy feels peaceful and confident, it stays with them through the night, shaping how they think and feel when they wake up. Words spoken before sleep sink deeper into the subconscious, and this is not just emotional poetry, it is psychology. At night, the conscious mind slows down, defenses soften, and the subconscious becomes more receptive. This is why the final interaction of the day carries more weight than any conversation earlier. When you send a thoughtful goodnight message, you are not simply wishing someone rest. You are placing an emotional imprint. The brain connects feelings to timing, and bedtime is when emotions echo the loudest. A calm, warm message at night can shape how someone feels about you without effort, because the mind processes it while drifting into rest. That feeling lingers into dreams, into the morning, and into how they unconsciously associate you with comfort and presence. Emotional tone matters more than perfect wording, because humans do not remember sentences, they remember sensations. You could write the most grammatically perfect message, but if it carries tension, insecurity, or pressure, it will push instead of pull. A grounded emotional tone communicates safety, confidence, and emotional maturity. When your message feels relaxed and genuine, it signals that you are emotionally secure. This creates attraction because people are naturally drawn to those who regulate their emotions well. The goal is not to impress, but to resonate. When your tone feels light, warm, or quietly confident, it allows the other person to feel good without obligation. And when someone feels good around you, their mind begins to associate you with emotional ease, which is far more powerful than intensity. Subtle confidence is more powerful than emotional pressure, especially at night. Confidence does not announce itself. It shows up as calm certainty. A confident good night message does not seek reassurance or validation. It does not ask questions that demand replies or create guilt. Instead, it communicates enjoyment without attachment. This kind of energy says, I choose to connect, not because I need you, but because I value this moment. Emotional pressure creates resistance, but subtle confidence creates space. And in that space, attraction grows naturally. When you allow someone to rest without emotional demands, they feel respected, not controlled. That respect turns into curiosity, and curiosity turns into deeper interest. The deeper lesson here is that connection is not built by doing more, but by doing things with intention. When you understand how timing, tone, and confidence work together, your words become powerful without being heavy. You are no longer trying to stay on someone's mind, you simply become part of their emotional landscape. And when someone falls asleep feeling calm, appreciated, and emotionally safe because of you, that feeling doesn't disappear overnight. It becomes part of how they experience you. That is how presence is created. Quietly, naturally, and powerfully. Words spoken before sleep carry extraordinary power because the mind is no longer guarded. At night, logic relaxes, defenses drop, and the subconscious takes the lead. This is why a simple good night message can leave a deeper emotional imprint than hours of conversation during the day. When someone reads your words right before closing their eyes, those words often become the final emotional instruction the brain receives. That instruction shapes how they feel, what they remember, and even what they associate with you. This is not about saying more, it's about saying the right thing at the right moment, when the mind is most open to influence. Emotional tone matters far more than perfect wording. Many people overthink what to say, believing the magic is in clever phrases or long explanations. The truth is simpler. The nervous system responds to emotion, not grammar. A calm, warm, grounded tone communicates safety. A playful tone sparks curiosity. A confident tone builds attraction. If your message feels peaceful, it relaxes him. If it feels heavy, it creates pressure. At night, pressure pushes people away, while emotional ease pulls them closer. The feeling behind your words travels faster and lasts longer than the words themselves. Goodnight texts can create safety, curiosity, and connection when they are intentional. Safety makes him feel emotionally comfortable with you. Curiosity keeps his mind gently engaged. Connection reminds him that there is something meaningful between you, even in silence. When these three elements are present, your message becomes more than communication. It becomes an experience. An experience that follows him into the quiet moments of the night when thoughts slow down and feelings rise up. This is where emotional bonding quietly strengthens without effort or force. Subtle confidence is more powerful than emotional pressure. Confidence says, I enjoy you, but I am complete on my own. Pressure says, I need reassurance. The human mind is drawn to emotional stability because it signals strength. Subtle confidence is far more powerful than emotional. Messages that try too hard push people away even if they sound loving. Confidence, on the other hand, feels light and attractive. It communicates self-worth without explanation. When a good night text comes from a place of emotional stability, It signals that you are grounded, secure, and emotionally mature. That energy naturally pulls people closer. Intention behind the message shapes how it is received. Two people can send the same words and get completely different results. Why? Because intention carries emotional weight. When your intention is to connect, not to seek validation, the message feels clean and warm. When your intention is to control or get reassurance, the message feels heavy. People may not consciously notice this, but emotionally they always feel it. The right goodnight message strengthens attraction without chasing because it allows space. Attraction grows where there is freedom, not pressure. A message that wishes rest, peace, or warmth leaves him feeling good without obligation. It doesn't demand a response. It doesn't ask for reassurance. And that's exactly why it works. When someone feels good because of you, without being pushed, their mind naturally returns to you. This is the real power behind goodnight texts. They are not tools of persuasion. They are reflections of emotional intelligence. When used with awareness, they create connection quietly, deeply, and effortlessly.